Alright, so by now we've all should have heard that bomb that Kendrick dropped that took shots at Drake and Cole on the song Like That. If you haven't already, I don't know what you got going on, but definitely take a listen. And a lot has happened since then, but one thing I want to go back to is the specific line that Kendrick says in the song.
Your best work is a light pack, nigga. Prince outlived Mike Jack, nigga. Boom.
Now, this isn't the first time Kendrick has made a reference to Prince. If you remember, back in 2017 when Future released Mask Off, Kendrick did a remix to the song where he also says,
She said she broke down when Prince died. Right. Bitch, my hair down, Prince lived through me.
And with all that being said, it brings up that one question, which is, what is Kendrick's connection to Prince? In an episode of the Big Hit Show podcast where the creation of Kendrick Lamar's 2015 album To Pimp a Butterfly was discussed, his longtime partner and friend Dave Freed mentioned that Prince was a significant source of inspiration for the album.
I would say from my perspective, it was when he started studying Prince incredibly heavily. Like, it was like insane how much like he became obsessed with Prince. Because you're trying to get Prince on Pimp Butterfly. We went out, did a session with him. People don't even know, I'm probably saying too much.
Now, Prince was also a big fan of Kendrick as well. In an interview with the Medium, he expressed how he had deep admiration, how he loved the songs Alright and Complexion. And come to find out, Prince loved the song Complexion so much to the point where he was actually supposed to be featured on the song alongside with Rhapsody, but it just never came to fruition. However, I'm pretty sure that they have some songs recorded together that we may never see, but you know, it is what it is. Now, going back to 2014, Prince actually invited Kendrick out to his estates, Paisley Park, to perform alongside with them. The performance was a celebration of his two released albums, Artificial Age, and this other album that I just cannot pronounce. I'm gonna attempt it, Plectrum. Now, the performance was so good to the point where it caught my dad's attention. Now, if you're able to catch my dad's attention, that says a lot. I'm just saying, he himself has said that Kendrick is nice. But in many ways, Kendrick sees himself, compares himself, aligns himself with Prince because he sees himself as the artist that is not afraid to color outside the lines, who's willing to experiment and try something that's daring. And I think about this interview that he did with Rick Rubin and GQ, where he talks about how To Pimp a Butterfly was actually going to be a challenge. He knew that people were not going to be so receptive of the album at first. He knew that it was going to be an album that was him taking a risk.
I was going to say that after hearing the first album, when the second album came, it was completely unexpected. Nobody was expecting you to make that.
Yeah, definitely. And I knew from the jump that was going to be a challenge, you know, from my listeners' ear. But if I'm challenging myself in the studio, I want to challenge you as well. So I just went full-fledged with it, man, and we built everything from scratch.
And Prince was known to be that artist who was willing to take risks, willing to try something new with each and every album, who was very eccentric, that made him the legend that he is today. He was the artist who knew multiple instruments, who blended genres. And I love Michael Jackson just as anyone else, but Michael Jackson was more of the artist who was just more receptive of the audience, who was more so like an easier listen than Prince was. And like I said, this is not a knock on Mike, because I think Mike is one of the greatest, but when you align Michael Jackson and Drake, and this is my biggest critique on Drake, not Michael Jackson but Drake, my biggest critique of him is how I feel like he's just in his comfort zone, how he's not branching out of that. His latest releases where like I feel like he just didn't take risk. I feel like it's been the same album for the last couple of years, and really the only album I feel like he took a risk was Honestly Nevermind, but even then it was something that's still within his comfort zone, and that album itself is decent at best. There's great songs on there, don't get me wrong, but it could have been better, I would say that. And I love Drake, and I love Drake. I love Drake. I think he's one of the greatest songwriters of all time, blah, blah, blah. But that's just what it is at this point. I hope you guys enjoy the video, and please don't come at me. I love all three of these artists. I love all of these artists, to be honest. They all make great music. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. This is your favorite music journalist, Papa Cleve, and I'm gonna catch you guys later. Peace and love.